All right, we're going to do some Inventor practice here. So I want you to go ahead and find Autodesk Inventor Professional 2019 on your desktop of your computer and go ahead and click to open that. And to kind of start off here, we are going to create a little puzzle cube as a project to do. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up a new project. And so inside of Inventor here, I'm going to go ahead and click on Projects. Notice that it has a default project and there's a check mark by it. I'm going to go ahead and click New to make a new project. We want it to be a single user project, so I'll click Next. The project name, we're going to call this Puzzle Cube with no spaces, and then you can put your initials. And I want you to go out and click this button and browse for a location to house this project. So I'm going to click the little button there. I'm going to click on this PC, and I'm going to go out and find that H drive where I created a folder called Engineering, and I created a folder called Engineering Practice, or excuse me, Inventor Practice. When I have Inventor Practice selected, I'm going to go ahead and click OK. Then I'm going to click Finish. And now notice on our project list, we have our Puzzle Cube project. We know it's the active project because it has a check mark by it. And we can go ahead and click Done. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is create this part here. And I'm creating this for you guys. You guys will create your own parts based on the puzzle cube that you create. And so I'm going to go ahead and click New first. And I want a standard part, so I'll go ahead and click Standard and Create. When you have that loaded, the first thing we're going to want to do is create some sketches to be able to create this 3D geometry. And so if we look at this part, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create this a sketch, a two-dimensional sketch that represents this kind of U shape here. All right. We know that each one of these blocks is 0.75 inches. And so if I go ahead and click Start a new sketch, it's going to ask me to select which plane I want. I am going to select the YZ plane for this. I'm going to click the line tool, and I'm always going to start at the origin. And when I click and let go, I can get a line. I can type in 0.75. I'm going to put times 2 because there's two blocks that are 0.75 inches. And so I put 0.75 times 2, and I can hit enter. I'm going to click on this view cube right here. I'm going to click on right, and it will just zoom in and out. You can also zoom in and out with the scroll wheel on your mouse. So we just created this line right here. Now I'm going to create this line. And so that's over 0.75 inches. So I make sure I have a perpendicular line. I know that because of this symbol right here. And I can type in 0.75, hit enter. We just created this line. Now I'm going to create this line. I'll go down 0.75, over 0.75, back up 0.75, over 0.75, down to the baseline, and across to connect the sketch. When I have all that done, I can go ahead and click Finish Sketch. I'll click Extrude, and we'll extrude out and give our part the third dimension. This box says 1 inch. Our cubes are 0.75, so I'll type in 0.75 and click OK. And so if I kind of click and I can pan around and see the cube I've created, you can notice that we're missing this little part. And so we have to add that part in right now. And so to do that, I'm going to click Start a new 2D sketch. And I'm going to click on this surface because this is a surface I want to make that sketch on. So when I do that, then I can again grab my line tool, or in this case, let's use our rectangle tool. I'm going to draw a rectangle right where that other box should go. So I just drew a rectangle. I can now get the dimension tool. When I do that, I can dimension between these two lines. And I want that to be 0.75. So when I have that dimension in, and I have that the sketch is fully constrained down here, I can go ahead and click Finish Sketch. I can click Extrude, and I can extrude that part up 0.75 inches. And so now I have the finished part that I was looking for, the part that I was creating. And so that should give you an idea about how to create your parts for your cube.